On the suite level of Dow Diamond, this is Success Suite. I'm Sarah Stockford, and with me today is CarolAnna Guillemette. CarolAnna is the founder of Financial Health and Harmony. She got her bachelor degree from CMU and her master's from SVSU. She has a passion rooted in her own financial wellness, and she is all over the community as an MBA ambassador and all on board. So, CarolAnna, welcome.
Thank you.
I know I'm so happy to have you on because you're my financial coach. So it'll be nice to just talk through you and how you got to where you're at.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. So even let's kick it off of, I kind of know the path that you took, but just to fill me in fully on your story, what sparked the inspiration to be in the financial world?
So I actually didn't set out in college to be in the financial world. My education, my bachelor's degree is in the science for education. So when I graduated, there just weren't the teaching jobs available and I needed to stay local. So I took that opportunity to pivot into finance. And that's where I really cut my teeth and started as a financial advisor. And then from there, my career just grew and I went into bank management and then from there into trust work and then just even more. So throughout those stages, I just had a love for finance and a love for the people.
Mm-hmm. I love that because I know you obviously started your own career path with it and your own business. So how did you get to where you're at now? What sparked you to start your own business?
Okay, so that's a great question. So throughout my years in finance, people need help. People would come into a branch and they'd need help balancing their checkbook or reconciling something from their checkbook, or they just have general financial questions. And you really only have so much time that you can work with them when you're running a branch because you have other things to do. So I would dedicate as much time as I could, but there's only so much time that you can have to really sit down. And when someone really needs help, they need someone that has more time that they can dedicate. And we just don't have a lot of solutions around here for that. So that really led me when I saw the business model for Financial Health and Harmony Coaching. I said, this will work, this will fit, and this will really make the impact that I want.
Yeah. So you starting your own business too, I guess, you run into challenges. And I feel like even like the thought of starting my own business, I don't even know what it would be because, I just feel like it scares me just even the idea. So when you were in the industry of finances and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to take my own leap. And what was like a challenge that you came across?
There are a lot of challenges. Yeah. Starting up your own business is not easy, but I just took it one piece at a time. Mm-hmm. And I started it while I was still employed full time. And I gave it about 6 months to really kind of get running the way that it made sense to me before I took off the full-time position to pursue the Financial Health and Harmony Coaching full-time. Mm-hmm. Nice. So I had a little bit of a trial run that really helped me to kind of dial in my processes and procedures. And I'm still continuing to do that, though, to this day.
Yeah, because I know you now do like more seminar things. I know you speak in front of women a lot, mm-hmm. right? So what even, too, has been a challenge for you as a woman in kind of the industries that you've been in? Is there anything that kind of has,
well, and I think
been hard to overcome or,
So as a female just coming into the working world, and I think this is in a lot of different industries, that you are very male dominated. So you just really need to have that confidence and be able to do your job and perform to the best of your ability and differentiate yourself from others. So that can be said for any profession. But I think it is especially important for women to make sure that they have that confidence, that they can be able to show their abilities.
Yeah, because has there been a time too where your confidence has been tested? And I know sometimes even for me being in the sports industry and being in a male dominated field, it can be hard sometimes. There is times where my confidence is tested. What advice would you give to somebody or a woman that's going through it or young in their career as a woman in a male dominated area that, would be helpful to them?
So I think to speak to that, really, what I would say is if you are lacking in confidence, just keep pushing on. Mm-hmm. Just keep pushing on. Figure out where it is that you're lacking in your confidence and build up your skills in that area so that you can be confident and just really practice and do the things that you need to do to become proficient and confident in the areas that you need to be.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I know. I feel like you hear all the time, fake it till you make it. And I feel like there is sometimes that saying has helped me in certain scenarios.
And I've heard that quite a few times. And It is just once you have that knowledge, though, and the confidence comes through and mm-hmm. just really can shine.
Yeah, that's great. Because now I guess even just hopping back to, kind of the seminars and things that you do, for women and stuff, how did you even get into that or how did you start doing those things?
So really the The seminars came out of need, right? So financial wellness seminars, I've been doing those for years, and that just depends on the situation. Sometimes an employer would like me to come in and speak with their employees on that. Sometimes it's a general community forum. So some of the other things that I talk on, and which has been really popular, and I just had one last night, is I've been speaking on financial fraud. So that is something where there's just a need for it, and we need to have more people talking about it and how to prevent it. And it is incredibly valuable information because we're all suspect to financial fraud. So I've been really trying to get out there, and people have been very receptive to that.
Great. Yeah, because I know you even, between the two, like, how do you balance both of those of doing, like, I'm going to be a financial coach, but I also want to put on these fraud seminars. And I guess in those two, how do you define success with both of those?
So I don't necessarily need to define success with those things. Success used to be the next title or the next raise or the next promotion. And success can really just be a win. It does. We need to celebrate our wins as successes. And they don't need to be anything that's big or flashy. It can be something small. And those small celebrations of those wins and successes, they can really motivate you to move on to the next one and the next one and the next one. So I would say your success is as you define it, but it doesn't need to be anything specific or huge.
I know, because I think it's hard when you are first getting into your career just as a whole. You think, okay, well, I want to be the next VP, you know? And I feel like as you do get into it and you shift in different, at least for me in my career, it's like, I don't know if I even want that VP title. Now it is like the baby steps of like, okay, I feel like I've succeeded in this area. Now let's move to the next one. So it sounds like that's kind of what happened with you and where you're going.
One of the things that I've learned, and this has stayed with me, and I really try to share this, is that the best plans that don't happen, that's okay. That's a learning experience. So I could have my whole career pathed out in front of me or mapped out in front of me. And if things don't go the way that I planned, that's okay. Before I used to I would get upset about that and really try to make that work. But it's really an opportunity to flex and kind of pivot and see where life takes you. So you have the ability to do that. And that's what I do with my business is I don't really have a defined, this is what it needs to be. It goes where it needs to go. And I take the opportunities that are in front of me. Sometimes the success is when somebody answers the phone.
Yeah, right. It's the small wins. Yes. I know. Yeah. Even for sales, like for me with like, you know, calling people all day. It's like, even if you can book that one meeting, it's like, okay, that was a successful day, and just kind of working from there. So
absolutely.
Because when you even go through kind of those hard times, and I always like to talk about mentorship and like community, is there certain people that you've leaned on or you have sought out to be a mentor to kind of guide you through your career and kind of those hard times?
So community has been incredibly important, and there's been several communities that I've been a part of, and it's been invaluable because it's not necessarily a formal mentorship, but peer-to-peer mentoring is very, very valuable. So just having the ability to talk with other professionals and really kick ideas to them within this community in a trusted area can't be understated at all.
Yeah. Because I know even for me, even just watching how involved you are in the community, it's very much inspired me to get very involved with different things like MBA Ambassador, and I know you've been one for a while. So I guess what would you say has been the most valuable thing that you've taken from being very involved in the community?
Oh, there's been so many things. I couldn't pinpoint just one. There's been so many things, just so many things that I've learned and so many different avenues that have opened up just because I've been involved with other people in different industries. They're not necessarily the same industry or the same field, but having that community of people that come together, you just never know what's going to happen. And I cannot say how valuable having resources and connections and people that I can chat with. And if I have something that's going on and I can say, hey, have you had this happen to you? And you never know. Sometimes they do. And you can find your answers.
And can I help you guide through
Absolutely.
those problems?
Absolutely. And just talking through things can really help to find the solutions that you may not have even thought of.
Yeah. I know I feel like that is so important. Like the networking piece, sometimes you don't even realize, but you get to know all of these people in the community, and then, you know, you start having things come up and it's like, okay, who do I reach out to? Or you know somebody who knows somebody. That's like a chain reaction.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, CarolAnna. I've had such a great conversation with you and obviously knowing you. So
thank you
I'm
for
glad
having
you
me.
could stop by.
Yeah, thank you for having me.